Frederick was a quiet suburban town just 30 minutes outside of the city of Denver and was voted as the best place to live in Colorado by USA Today in 2007. However, all of this was to change when Chris Watts moved in next door in 2013.
I hope that she's somewhere safe right now and with the kids.
The board is going to sentence you as it relates.
Christopher Lee Watts was born in 1985 in North Carolina. He met his soon-to-be wife in 2010 and married 2 years later. 𝘾𝙝𝙧𝙞𝙨 Watts was born in North Carolina in 1984, and together the pair had 2 girls, Bella Marie Watts in 2013 and Celeste CC Catherine Watts in 2015. And at the time of her death, Shanann was pregnant with their first boy, 15-week-old Nico. They lived in a 5-bedroom home in Fredericktown, Colorado, USA, and seemed like the perfect all-American family. In 2015, just 2 years after buying their new house, they filed for bankruptcy, something that most couples struggle to navigate, especially with children to care for. However, things turned from bad to worse in the summer of 2018 when Shanann became concerned at Chris's off behaviour. She felt something was wrong and questioned whether he was having an affair, something that he plainly denied. Her sixth sense was right though, as Chris was in fact cheating on Shanann with his co-worker 𝘾𝙝𝙧𝙞𝙨. She immediately fell for him.
It's me. I miss your face. I was just calling to say hi.
And the two began being involved romantically at the end of June 2018. Watts had told 𝘾𝙗𝙧𝙀 that he was currently in the middle of a separation from his wife, which justified the affair to her, and they continued to become more and more serious. Chris was infatuated with Nicole and wanted to start a new life with her alone. The only thing stopping him was his wife and 3 children. Shanann's best friend, Nicole Atkinson, who she'd been with on the business trip, tried to call Shanann to check how she was in the morning. After getting no reply, Nicole drove to the Watts family home to see where she was. The house looked empty with no movement inside, so Atkinson made a call to 911. An officer arrived on scene and also tried to get a response from inside, but with no avail. They managed to get a hold of Chris Watts, who was at work, and told him to come back home.
Here, hang on. Yeah, get me on the phone. Okay, get me on the phone.
Scott, how you doing?
How's it going?
So this is the only vehicle she would have?
Only one that,
She would drive? Okay.
Chris arrived and gave them all entry into the home, where they looked around for any evidence as to where Shanann and the girls had gone to. They found the girls' comfort blankets, along with Shanann's personal items, which worried all involved. Except for Chris, who was desperately trying to look like a concerned husband and father, should have taken some acting classes first. A neighbour's camera showed no activity after Chris had driven away for work, so it was declared a missing persons case for pregnant Shanann and her girls. They pulled Chris in for questioning, a regular stage in police work, and eventually got him to agree to a polygraph test. Chris infamously failed the test.
So I brought Graham in here because we want to talk to you about the results, okay?
Okay.
So, it is completely clear that you were not honest during the testing, and I think you already know that. You did not pass the polygraph test.
Okay.
Okay, so now we need to talk about what actually happened. And I feel like you're probably ready to do that.
Which meant both the investigator and polygraph analyst turned on him. They began to psychologically pressure Chris into a metaphorical corner.
Chris, I know. Chris, stop. It's time. Just stop for a minute. Take a deep breath.
Until he asked to see his dad, who had just flown in to help in the search.
Hey, Chris, we're gonna let you have however much time you need, okay?
Okay. You gonna leave us in there or no?
Yes.
Okay.
Chris then admits to killing 𝘾𝙗𝙧𝙨 to his dad, but in a half-hearted attempt to save face, he claims it was due to 𝘾𝙗𝙧𝙨 first killing the girls.
I don't want to protect her. What? I don't want to protect her. You don't want to protect her? I don't know what else to say. Huh? She hurt him? Yeah. And then what now? Not her. You hurt her.
Investigators knew this was half of the story, but that Chris hadn't told them the full explanation yet, so they continued to press on.
And you still do that?
You don't want him out there.
I don't want him out there.
And you don't want someone else to find that out there. You don't, I promise you.
Eventually, he admitted to where all 3 bodies were and pointed them out on a map for the police. All bodies were recovered, along with vital DNA evidence. 𝘾𝙗𝙧𝙨, 𝑐𝑐, Bella and Nico were laid to rest on the 1st of September 2018 in North Carolina. By 2019, Watts admitted via letter that he sent to the writer, 𝘾𝙗𝙧𝙨, that he had first attempted to kill his daughters by smothering them in their beds before turning on 𝘾𝙗𝙧𝙨. He then found that both girls were still alive and instead loaded them up in the truck along with their mother's dead body.
Go in the truck.
Okay.
Did they ask you what you were doing, taking mommy out, or?
Yeah, I don't remember what I told them, but they did ask that.
What they say specifically?
It was more of like, what are you doing to mommy?
Okay. Alright. And then the girls, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You mentioned Bella was first. 𝑐𝑐 was first, okay. Where exactly was she when it happened?
In the back seat.
Okay. Was she just right next to Bella?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so once again, was it a hand over her face? Was it?
It was a blanket over and my hand.
And then your hand. Okay. And then so that just stopped her from breathing type thing? Okay. Did she struggle at all?
I don't think so, but I was blocking her face and my hand was right here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You had one hand here and one hand over her mouth?
And were you just pushing her against the back of the seat type thing? Okay. What was Bella doing?
She was sitting there next to it. She didn't know what was going on.
Okay. Could she see you? Okay. Tell me about what you were thinking.
I wasn't. If I was thinking it's what would happen.
Yeah.
Or any partial hint of what I feel for those girls and what I feel for my wife, but none of this would have happened, so I wasn't thinking.
Okay. So she's in the back seat. Okay. And then once she's gone, then is it Bella next, or did you pull 𝑐𝑐 out?
I pulled 𝑐𝑐 out.
Okay, so once 𝑐𝑐's gone, Bella's still there in the car alive, and then you pulled 𝑐𝑐 out. What'd you do with her? Okay. So she went into the tank, and Bella was still in the back of the truck alive. Okay. With regard to that tank, did you bring up 𝑐𝑐, put her down, open the hatch?
Brought her up, opened the hatch.
And then put her in? Okay. And then went down to Bella. Tell me what happened there.
She said what happened to 𝑐𝑐. First she asked if it was the same thing, the exact same thing that happened to me as 𝑐𝑐.
Did she ask you that? Okay. So Bella's pretty smart. How did she sound when she asked you that, Chris?
She had that soft voice she always had.
Yeah. And what exactly did she say?
She said exactly the same thing that happened to me as 𝑐𝑐. And then I said, I don't even remember what I said.
Okay.
I don't know if I just said yes like a horrible person, or if I just put that blanket over her too and did the same thing.
Same blanket, same way?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She said, no, Daddy. And that's the last thing she said.
Watts was found guilty of all charges brought against him and is held in Wisconsin prison, Dodge Correctional Institution. Sources have said he is an outcast in the prison and people regard him as lower than the low. It doesn't bring Shanann and her children back, but it does feel kind of good that he is receiving some sort of pain in prison. Watts was handed 5 life sentences without the possibility of parole, meaning it is highly unlikely he will ever leave the high walls and barbed fences again.